Right. So I have a video for Saturday, Sunday. Not really sure. Also not really sure what will be in the background. Maybe I'll do multiple games just to mess with YouTube or something. I have things that annoy me. It's not YouTube related, but I don't really see a shrink anymore, and I feel that this will just bottle up until I unleash it in the face of someone that probably don't deserve it. So rather than that, let me shout to the void, get it off my chest. But before that, I don't want to make a video that has nothing to do with YouTube. So let's start with something there. If you've been on the channel, you may have noticed that two of the last videos I've uploaded have both been finales. Like final, like last. In 14's case, it's for now at least. Maybe more later. Now the issue is, I don't really have the energy to start two new things. It may sound weird, as this isn't the most taxing thing to do, but I basically went from doing nothing, or more or less nothing, for like 2 years to doing this. I may have started off a little bit too hard. On top of that, but you know when normal people sleep, they recharge their batteries, and then they kind of like spread that energy throughout the day. Well, I spend like 95% of that just forcing myself to get up in the morning, afternoon, night. The remaining, like 5%, is spent on, well, YouTube. Fighting back the urge to wrap a rope around my neck and kick the chair, and whatever crap life decides to shove down my throat that day. So, a little bit low energy. So I've decided that at least for a while, I would like to try to go down to 2 videos per week. I've talked about this before, but I feel that this situation that I'm in is a nice opportunity to at least try it. So from here on, for the foreseeable future, videos will be on Tuesday and Thursday. And videos like these, that are probably made in like an hour or so, the day or the day before it gets uploaded. Maybe if I feel a little bit saucy, maybe it was recorded the day after it was uploaded. How I'm gonna pull that off? That's a secret. But those will be on Saturdays. I have some further plans down the line, but I talked about that in the video. I chose to, I guess, postpone, delay. Due to some mess with Twitch. And how some streamers there reacted to that. You know, like spoiled children who clearly don't know how the world works, but that's what it's like when you live in an echo chamber, I suppose. It doesn't involve me. I just don't. I don't. Just doesn't feel like I should be uploading that yet. Like if I'm ever in a doubt about uploading a video, I probably won't. Or at least I'll like wait. Come to think of it, that video is becoming more and more useless as time goes, as I keep talking about the same stuff in other videos, but yeah, fuck it. But I feel like I have plenty of videos now for people to get started. Not to mention they are around an hour long. I believe YouTube videos on average are between like 15 and 30 minutes, so by uploading 2 videos I basically upload plenty in a week. And knowing how YouTube has worked for me before, I'm guessing no one watched them, so plenty of third monitor background noise is available were you to need it. So yeah, Tuesday and Thursday and occasional videos on Saturdays. That is the plan for now. Anyways, I think that's about it for the YouTube part of the video. If you don't care about real life crap going on in my life, you can safely tune out, as I will spend the rest of the video complaining. Or how 7 minutes in, 7-ish minutes in, complaining about how fucking dumb the people in charge of Norway are. So where to start? So I have a problem. Just as this has been said, I have contacted the police and the government complaining about this. They wouldn't even respond. So before bothering you, I think I've tried everything else I could do, but you know how it is. Like, if you've been around for a while, you may have caught on to my little experiment where I use VR and VR chat to try to deal with my severe social anxiety. No, seriously, I asked the shrink how bad they thought it was. Because, I can feel one way, but like if someone asked, I had to explain it, I would like to use the words of a professional. And they said severe. Well, they said extremt, which would be extreme, which I'm pretty sure should be a good substitute for severe. Could be wrong. I don't really speak English. But my plan was like, since social interactions in video games do trigger it, I figured, with VR, you're more in the situation. But at the same time, I have like the safety of VR between me and whoever tries to stab me in the back. Like, I'm there, but I'm not physically there, just mentally. And I could just kind of fuck off whenever. It's probably a half-baked idea, but it's the best I got. It's not really working, as I tend to be exposed to, children and creepy people. Now, if you're not in the VR chat sphere, they have started rolling out age verification. Thank fuck. And I guess how it works is if you're age verified, you can set up and join 18 plus instances, which would fix this issue, as children won't be there, and I suspect the creepy people are there for the children. So how do you get verified? I don't fucking know. But the way I read it, you need an ID, and I'm guessing a camera. Send a picture of the ID and myself to somewhere, and that works somehow. I would like to apologize to whoever sees those photos of me, by the way, as I kinda look like a Smash tournament smells. Hopefully you can get the help to overcome the trauma. Maybe it's AI, probably is, but it might break. It might need a human interference, I guess, and you should probably talk to a shrink after seeing that. Now, herein lies the problem. I sort of don't have an ID. I never really needed one. Back in the day, debit cards had pictures on them, so I've been running around with an old debit card. I'm not sure if that'll be good enough. It's good enough for me when I try to buy adult beverages, but it may not be good enough for this. so I will most likely need something called a national ID. Now, how can I get one of those? Well, as I read it, I have to go to a police station. They have to take a picture of me and send it to wherever, and a week or two later, boom, mailbox. Easy enough. It's like a 10-minute cab ride. I'll be the one who can go there tomorrow. No, wait. Because of how Norway is run by a bunch of how far can I go? There's so many words I could use. Let's go with morons. As the words that I wanna use, I'm pretty sure they would all get me banned. That one doesn't do ID, supposedly. And I would have to take a 10-minute cab ride, followed by an hour-ish train ride. As I'm not familiar with that place, probably been there like twice in my life. Probably have to take another cab because I don't know where the police station is there. Double that, as I also have to get back home. Again, not a major issue, just the time and the road, ain't it? Well, you also have to book an appointment. So now I have to book an appointment. I have to then find a train that can take me there to around that time, and then hope that one of the maybe 5 taxis here can bring me there in time for the train. I've never been on a train before. I don't know how that shit works. From what I understand, you can't just get on the train and buy a ticket. You have to use one of those fucking apps, or whatever. Now, technically, I have 2 options. An hour south of me and an hour north of me. But I'm going north. Why? Well, I don't have a car license, as I live in a place where you need a car to get to a place where you can get a car license. And my quote-unquote parents didn't want to drive me there more than once, and I failed due to a question about how many liters of drinking water 1 liter of oil will make undrinkable. Lesser child and all that, you know how it is. If you're the middle born, if you have a older sibling that's the same gender as you and a younger sibling that is the opposite gender, birth gender, before you get your panties in a twist, you're not worth much. I'm just gonna throw that out there. However, I do have a moped license, which is more than enough until it expires. The whole moped license being valid until I was 100 years old stopped being true when the government retroactively changed that contract about, I'm guessing like 6-ish years after I took my driver's license or something like that. And they didn't say shit about it. So I also need to do something about that. If I took it after 2012, I could have done it online. I took mine in 06. I have to show up in person, which requires me to go to the same fucking city. So I might as well do both, because fuck if I'm dealing with that shit twice. However, this also requires me to have an appointment. And this joke of a company has opening hours from like 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So, just to sum things up, I have to make an appointment at the police station and the place where with the driver's license thing. I then have to take a 10-ish minute cab ride to catch a train, take that train to the place about an hour's car ride north of here, and then I have to take a cab from there to the license plate thingy, or the license thingy, because I know where that is, and that's a beefy walk, man. take a fucking picture of myself, because I can't just take a picture of myself, they have to take a picture. If they ask me to retake the test, I will sue. I'm not gonna win, but I will. I'm gonna kick up a stink about this shit. Then I'm gonna have to take another cab to that city's police station, take another picture, and then go through all that shit again to get home. All that shit. 2 pictures. 2 pictures. It could take all day, depending on the appointments and the availability of taxis, and when trains run in that direction. It is possible that I might have to spend the night at a hotel, because I'm pretty sure they've been cutting down on public transport out here as well, so I might not be able to get another one when I'm done. I know for a fact that only buses that stop here in my hometown these days are school buses. And even if I could get on one of those, they won't get me far enough. Also, taxi drivers, I found this out like a couple of weeks ago, they shut their phones off at 6 p.m. So I have to order a cab before that, but fuck knows when I'll be back. If I miss that deadline, I'll have to walk back. I looked up something a while back, and according to Google Maps, it would take, on average, about an hour to walk that 5-minute drive. Now let's say, since the speed limit doesn't change all that much beyond that, 2-ish hours on average. Next to a highway. Because we don't need sidewalks, apparently. That'll be fun. When an Eastern European truck driver shows up drunk off his ass 40 kilometers per hour over the speed limit on a Norwegian winter road on worn out summer tires. That's not something I made up. That's like the fucking norm for those people. Like, the most frustrating part is how fucking unnecessary it is. Why can't debit cards have pictures on them anymore? They've had pictures on them since, I don't fucking know, forever? I'm sure they just dreamt up a reason, as this change happened around the same time they started pushing national ID. So it could be cash. Because I'm sure I would have to fucking pay for it. Also, I live in Norway. As of this recording, it's December 20th of the year 2024. Norway, one of the richest countries in the world. Y'all trying to convince me that Norway can't afford to hook every police station up with a fucking camera. They take the picture and send it via the internet to these 2 places and have them take care of the rest. You would think the driver's place got a picture from the police station, that would be like good enough. If it seemed a little bit sketchy, they could just call that police station. Should be verification enough. Like I said, I actually sent the police an email where I kind of complained about this a month ago. Still haven't gotten a fucking response. Not that the license place should be necessary in the first place, as I'm pretty sure retroactively changing a contract is fucking illegal. I signed it at 06, at some point after that they changed it. I guess it's fine when the government does it. Yeah, the corruption levels in Norway is really low. Or it's out of fucking control and they just paid the right people to stay quiet. But I should probably stop there before I get a new pair of boots and dropped into a river in Oslo. You know, the concrete kind of boots. And before you start saying tinfoil hat, It's like, oh, aliens or corruption. No, motherfucker. There's a lot of evidence just by searching through like legit news outlets. Like all I'm saying is, it's a well-known fact that people in our, I guess, parliament is actively lying about their home address so they can get what's it called in English? Like a Norwegian is pendlerbolig. Google says commuter accommodation. It's probably not correct, but I feel I know those words, so I think the point is there. Like, they lie about their address so they can get a house in Oslo. So they don't have to, I guess, commute for like 2 hours every day to get to work. Meanwhile, they fucking live in Oslo and they rent it out to someone. Probably don't pay tax off it as well. Many of them, so many of them been caught doing that shit. And no one says anything until the media finds out, and then everyone's so sorry. Yep, they never get punished. I think one of them got into trouble recently. I think there's like 5 or no, like, you gotta be like 10 or 12 people who have done that shit. I think one of them is being punished. But again, I should stop. You may be wondering, why is it like this? Why is everything so fucking hard if you live out in the countryside in Norway? Well, because no matter who wins the elections, like prime minister elections, nothing changes. Ultimately, the people who get the power are rich, brain-dead assholes from the major cities, mostly from Oslo, but Bergen and Trondheim is, they're included as well. People who have barely been outside the borders of a major city in the past like 30 fucking years. They have no clue what life is like out here, and they seem to think that all of Norway works like the major cities, where you basically live walking distance from everything you need. Even though they themselves for the past many years have gone out of their way, taking things away from us to make life as hard as possible. And then they complain that too many people are moving to the cities. It's amazing how dumb you can be and still be considered a functioning human being, let alone be given the power to run an entire country. I mean, if you need an example of this, there's like the pushing like the green shift thing. Like no more fossil cars and use public transport, buy electric. And they're like, okay, everyone, we're ready to take step number 20. Meanwhile, people out here in the countryside is like, the fuck you talking about step 20? We haven't gotten the shit we need to take step 4. But the major cities are ready, because that's all they fucking care about. Rich people, born with a silver spoon in their mouths, barely know how the world works, but my god do they know best. Those shits, right? Only care about other rich city shits. Only care about other rich city shits. So yeah, I mentioned it in a video that no longer exists, but I feel it bears repeating. Yay, Norway. Not a dysfunctional shitfest at all, not even the slightest. Like, I don't really want to do this sort of stuff. It feels like I'm whining. And even though that's one of the few things I'm good at, I feel a little bit bad about it, because, starving children in Africa and first world problems and all that, but I've gotten this shit off my chest. Given you a little bit of an idea what my daily life is like. Hopefully it explains the lack of energy, and probably saved me from having to introduce someone's brainstem to their nose. And also probably landed my fat ass on at least one list. May or may not be a hit list. That remains to be seen. Thank you.